All right. Hello, Jesus. Hi, Sailor Moon. Hi, Serena. Well, yeah, I know that, I know that, you know that Palm Sunday's coming up. Then Holy Thursday, Good Friday, Holy Star Day, and Easter Sunday all coming up. All Christendom holy days on looking you and what you did on those days. Yeah, that's true. That is true. But the holy days that most folks in Christendom hold higher than others would be Good Friday, which is misleading. The name's misleading. Because folks would say, well, how can you call that Good Friday? Well, good, because good is going to come out of all the things I went through. You know, through the hearings, the stretches, being beaten, being to carry my board, then being put on a round and dying. And folks would think, well, there couldn't be any good in that. But yeah, there was good that came out of that. Because through all that, God and I were having those sins atoned for, having those sins cleaned away, having those sins always being forgiven, and having instead in heaven through God and through me. You know, and Easter Sunday is the day that God brought me back from the dead. You know, after me and God had atoned for those sins always being forgiven for, and having those sins always being washed away. Yes, that is right. And only for you, Jesus, do we get to God. You were the bridge between God and mankind and womankind. And a lot of folks might make that into thinking that, well, only for those who believe. Well, I think that everyone got their sins atoned for. Everyone has their sins forgiven for. Everyone has a stead in heaven through you, Jesus, and through God, even if they believe it or don't believe it. That's right. If someone believes in something, then that is good. But not believing in it doesn't mean it didn't happen, you know. So yeah, everyone has a stead in heaven through God and through me. Well, it's good to see you. I love you. I love you too. Hi, Jesus. Hi, sailors. Hi, Sailor Mini Moon. Hi, Small Moon. Hi, Little Moon. Hi, Reenie. I just, want to say thank you, for atoning for my sins. And thank you for cleaning my sins away. And thank you for my stead in heaven through God and through you, because you and God loved me so much. You both felt that that I was worthy, that we were all worthy. Well, you're welcome. And yes, it is true that you are still sinful, but through that God still loves you. And even though God doesn't like sin, God is very forgiving of sin. And anytime he now looks at you, he sees the blood that was spilt. So that makes you clean in his eyes. So that's why God wanted me to yield my life up, my blood up, so all those sins could be washed away and be atoned for. So you all could have a stead in heaven through my Father God and through me too. But I'm just sorry for everything you had to go through. You know, the stretches, the hearings, but mostly the shaming, and then the beatings, and then all that, and then being put on a round and dying. It was all God's goal. And yes, I did ask my father if there was any other way that sin could be atoned for and cleaned away, and he told me that was the only way it could be done. And I entrusted that my father would do something good out of it. So I went through with it, you know. It is something that me and my Father God felt that we should do, and you are welcome. Hi, we're gonna start speeding this up a little. Hi, Jesus. Hi, Sailor Mercury. Hi, Sailor Quicksilver. Hi, Amy. And it's good to see you. And I know that Good Friday. I know that Holy Thursday, Good Friday, Holy Star Day, and Easter Sunday are coming up soon. And I just want to say, thank you for being my Lord. Thank you for being my teacher and my healer and my freer. Wow. And my friend. Thank you for being the Son of God. You are welcome. Hi, Jesus. Hi, Sailor Red. Hi, Sailor Mars. Hi, Sailor Red World. Hi, Ray. And it's good to see you again, Jesus. And I know that our kinship with you, our love with you, is forever. That is right. My kinship, my love, my forgiveness, my forever, love and forgiveness is with all mankind and all womankind. No need if they believe in me or do not believe in me. And that's what I don't get. Why well, that's good to know. But I want to know, why is it that many folks don't believe in you? Well, give you a smooth answer to this asking thing is that everyone has free will and everyone has the freedom to believe what they want to believe. And even when I was alive, even when I was a man, even when I was a son of God doing all the things, there were those who loved me, those who cared for me, those who worshipped me, and those who onlooked me and understood the holiness that I had. And then on the other side, there were folks who hated me, folks who scathed me, folks who shamed me and guilted me because they knew that I was the Son of God, and they knew that I was flawless and sinless and holy, and they couldn't handle that because they were not. But I loved them all the same, and forgave them too. Okay, fall over then, because you just know you're going to fall over anyway. Hi, Jesus. Hi, Sailor Venus. Hi, Sailor V. Hi, Mina. Hi, Sailor Hellisfield. And it's good to see you again. Good that we get to good that we get to, hang out and talk with you, before Good Friday, before Easter Sunday and all that. Well, it's good that we get to meet again. It's good that we get to hang out and talk. But my kinship with you, it goes your whole life. And in heaven too. So you can always talk to me and always have a kinship with me. Oh, I know that. Fuck, don't fall over. Hi, Jesus. Hi, Tuxedo Mask. Hi, Darian. Hi, Evening Shield. Hi, Evening Clovine. Wow, it's good to see you, Jesus. Wow, it's good to see you too. And thank you for being my Lord, my freer, my teacher, my healer, and being my friend and being a son of God. Thank you for my stead in heaven through your Father God and through you, Jesus. You're welcome. Well, it is so cool to get to meet the Son of God again, to see the Son of God again. To meet the King of Kings, the Kaiser of Kaiser, the Kingling of Rest, the right hand of God. You got so many nicknames: the teacher, the healer, and a freer, and all of those ranks are true. Because you were a teacher. You did teach folks classes. You were a healer. You did heal. You were a friend. You were the highest king, or the highest. You were the king of kings, or the Kaiser, because God was the king of heaven, and you were his son. So yeah, you were kingling. You were kingly. You were right about all that, Sailor Jupiter, Sailor King World Lita. You're right. All right, Gita, it's good to see. I know it's really awkward because I'm a big doll. I just want to say, thank you for being a son of God. Thank you for being my Lord, my freer, my teacher, my healer, and my friend. You're welcome, Sailor. If you're welcome, Ernest.